introducing Yuk King Tan to you. I was very pleased to see when I was reading the biography that we have a Queensland-born artist, unless I am incorrect. It's Townsville, in fact, for those of you from the north. However, Yuk has been educated in Auckland and lives and works there. She has exhibited widely in New Zealand, but also in the Netherlands, and she has exhibited in Australia before, in both Sydney and Melbourne, I understand. In Sydney that was at the MCA. And she's going to speak about this work that anyone who's been here during the week has watched unfold as the week has progressed.
Yes, I do realise this is the thoroughfare of the cafe. Working here, I've had lots and lots of people going through all the times. And it's been part of the actual process of the work to make it on site. You can tell that there is a strong aspect of the time-consuming and methodical nature of the process of this firecrackers, which is what is on the wall, and the gluing of them. I should hold this microphone closer. I want to talk about first the origin or the genesis of this piece. I was thinking about the Waka Collective, which is what this is part of, which is a New Zealand collective contingent who is making a work which takes on the thematic concern of a waka, which is a Māori canoe. And that aspect of the concept of what I enjoyed about it, which is the journey, the travelling, the mythological imaging that we take on board with us from these islands, be it global island or be it the islands that we are situated from, New Zealand and Australia. And I was also thinking about the recreation of myths, the neo-myths, the construction of our own mythology as we journey along in our own travels. Part of also this work was a premise from previous works, which was the blurring of cultural boundaries, this notion of a generation, which is my generation, which was milk-fed on television, and the saturation of media imagery is part of where this work is situated. The work is called channel surfing, and I was thinking a lot about the aspect of flicking from image to image. You can take the metaphor further from television onto bombardment of different cultures, concepts, be it pictorial or be it actual concept. And I was fascinated by that, especially in my own notion of being a Asia-Pacific person, a New Zealander who takes on other different cultures within the dominant culture of New Zealand as well. So in this strange configuration, which was part of the work regarding imagery, I thought of the channel surfing as both an entrapment in some ways and also as a wider debate on perhaps an empowerment of that, thinking about the level of the clicking of channels, the transitional device of surfing through your own different states. There could be more discussion rather than just that aspect of the nullifying effects of television or be it wider concerns, this level of taking on our own power structure, a process of deselection as well as selection. If I can push the surfing metaphor forwards, perhaps too far, thinking about carrying over on the whole, carrying over on the wave, releasing control in some way to construct your own level of control. So I see this work as part description as well as commentary. And how I chose these images, when I was thinking about this piece for the Triennial, which was done as much situated for the Triennial and about the Triennial as other things of the New Zealand Waka collective idea, I started to collect images from pop culture, from magazines, from television, from books, and from any sort of pictorial image which catched my attention, perhaps even for that split second, so that moment of cognition or that spark of interest. And in that library that I collected of images, I brought about 200 or 300 over to Brisbane. So when I actually got here, in the back of my mind I was thinking about the premise of the Triennial, the essays that I'd read about the Triennale, the titles of the conference, also the Waka idea of travelling through journeys and through memories. And that was part of the transitory element of culling down the images that I got to a non-narrative, but particularising certain aspects of my own feelings about the show. Some of them are obvious references, and others of them are just that level of a random selection, a kind of a point of connection. So, as part of this piece, when you step back from it, when you actually see it from afar, you can see the fragments as some sort of collective whole, as an ironic community. But as you step forward towards it, the pixelated style of the windows or the screens lends itself to looking at the surface quality of it, of the manic construction of the images, and your eye can flick over the different images, much like a surf, much like a device of transition, so that you can actually recreate in some ways some sense of connections or relationships between the two, however much that the aspects of the differences of them resist that human need to actually make connection. I should probably answer the question that most people ask is, why did I use blue firecrackers and why are the firecrackers blue? Well, in a lot of my work I thought a lot about the symbols of colour and created my own sense of personal symbology. When I think of purple, I associate the purple of bruising or the purple of length. So for me in this work, the blue had a quality of the journey with the sky and with the water, the aspect of the vessel ploughing through the water. Also, on a more ambiguous note, the blue of calm or the blue of clinical science, as well as blue being willow pattern and chinoiserie delft. I also saw the colour as a counterpoint to the firecrackers, and the firecrackers are like this device of potential energizer. They're like the transitional unit. They destroy the image at one point, but they also activate it. In traditional Chinese culture, the firecrackers are used in ceremonies to scare away the demons or the evil spirits. And in this case, I want the sound of firecrackers as I let them off, which I will do at some stage, to reverberate throughout the gallery and perhaps even scare away the demons of this space, whatever they may be. So, as part of a more serious note, the subtext of this piece was this notion of evil in contemporary society or contemporary life, be that political or public, or be that a personal and private journey towards this notion of conflict or internal dissatisfaction, whatever journey. I won't be autobiographical here at this moment. So all these levels are part of this work, which I see as very much in the context of the Triennale. The other aspect of the work is, I had a conversation with Marlene, the last speaker, to talk about her work, and she was talking about blurring the lines between the studio and the gallery. That's definitely something that has been part of my process, my work, in terms of using the firecrackers on the walls and working on the floors. In this case, the firecrackers actually start to burn the skin, the epidermis of the gallery situation. And it's not that I want to burn the gallery down, but it is the fact that I like to use the potential violence of this piece as some sort of cathartic device.